He came in with no pulse. What happened next shocked everyone. The ambulance doors flew open. The man had no pulse, no name, no ID, just blood, and a strange watch stopped at exactly 3:17 a.m. What happened next would leave even the most experienced doctors questioning everything they believed about life and death. Disclaimer: this story is inspired by true events but has been dramatized for entertainment and awareness purposes. Viewer discretion is advised. This is not medical advice. The arrival. It was 3:17 a.m. when the emergency call came in. Dr. Evelyn Harper was on her 6th night shift in a row, sipping lukewarm coffee and charting cases in the dim light of the trauma bay. The air was unusually quiet for a Friday night. Almost too quiet. She joked to the nurse beside her, "This feels like the calm before the storm." Moments later, the sliding doors burst open. Paramedics rushed in, their voices tense. Male, approximately 40s, found unresponsive at the side of the highway. No ID, no pulse, no signs of life when we got there, but we brought him in anyway. Something felt off. Dr. Harper's heart raced. The man was pale, his body limp, but as she leaned in to examine him, she noticed something strange. His wristwatch was shattered, but the hands were frozen, both at exactly 3:17 a.m., the same moment they received the emergency call. She brushed it off as coincidence. "For now, start CPR. Full code," she barked. For 25 minutes, the team fought to revive him. Chest compress irons, adrenaline shots, defibrillations. Nothing. He was gone. But just as she was about to pronounce time of death, beep, 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 the heart monitor blinked. A heartbeat. A slow, steady heartbeat. Back from the dead. The room froze. A collective gasp swept the trauma team. The man had no pulse for over 20 minutes, and now, somehow, his heart was beating. Dr. Harper looked around. This doesn't make sense. They stabilized him, intubated, and rushed him to ICU. He was still unconscious, but alive. For the next several hours, Evelyn sat with the file in hand, trying to piece it together. There were no injuries explaining the collapse. His blood work was almost too normal. CT scan, clean. It was like he had died for no reason, and come back for another. And then, the first miracle. At exactly 3:17 p.m., 12 hours after his arrival, the man opened his eyes. "Where am I?" His voice was weak, but clear. "Is this St. Luke's Hospital?" Dr. Harper nodded. "Yes, you were brought in last night. Can you tell me your name?" He hesitated. "My name is David. David Lawson. I think I died." Silence. He looked down at his wrist, where his broken watch had been removed. "Did you see it? The watch? It always stops when it happens." "What happens?" she asked. He turned his head slowly. "When I cross over." His last memory. David's eyes remained locked on the ceiling. Dr. Harper sat beside him, her pen hovering above the chart, unsure if she was treating a medical miracle or something far beyond science. "I remember driving, then this blinding light," he said softly, "but it wasn't from headlights or a crash. It was everywhere, warm, peaceful. Then I saw them." "Who?" Evelyn asked, her voice barely a whisper. "My wife. And my daughter. They've both been gone 10 years. She felt her chest tighten. "They told me it wasn't time yet, that I had work to do, and then, just like that, I was back. I felt the weight of my body again. The pain, the cold." Dr. Harper tried to stay composed. "David, do you have any medical conditions?" He shook his head. "I did, stage 4 cancer, but they told me it's gone." Test results. A week later, David's test results confirmed the impossible. There was no sign of cancer, not a cell. The oncologist reviewed his old scans and compared them with the new ones, his hands trembling. "I don't understand. This isn't Remy's Sean. It's like the cancer never existed." The team called it spontaneous regression, a rare phenomenon, but Evelyn had seen enough cases to know that nothing about David was ordinary. And then came the second twist, the watch secret. Late one night, Dr. Harper examined David's shattered wristwatch. She sent it to a tech friend for analysis. When the report came back, it chilled her. The circuitry was fused as though it had been hit by a massive electromagnetic pulse, yet there was no sign of external damage. And most strangely, the time inside the tiny internal clock chip also froze at 3:17 a.m. "Watches don't freeze from emotion," Evelyn, her friend, said. "Something happened in that ambulance. Something powerful." She turned to the security footage of the air that night. Just as David was wheeled in, the hallway lights flickered, then completely went out, for exactly 17 seconds. When they came back, he had a heartbeat. A nurse's confession. Nurse Julia had been on shift that night, assisting with compress irons. Days later, she approached Dr. Harper, looking pale. "I didn't want to say anything earlier, but during the CPR, I saw something." "What do you mean?" "There was someone standing behind you, a woman in white, glowing. I thought it was just stress, but she touched your shoulder." Dr. Harper frowned. "No one was there. I think it was an angel." The second life. David began walking again. The physical therapists couldn't believe how quickly he regained strength. Within a week, he was helping other patients, talking to families, comforting people as if he were born for it. He shared his experience with whoever would listen. There's more to life than what you see. Don't waste it. Forgive quickly, love fiercely, and never fear death. It's just a doorway. A month later, he left the hospital, not just healed, but transformed. The ripple effect. Nurse Julia started going to church again. Dr. Harper began praying before every shift. Even the skeptical staff began questioning their beliefs. David's story was never reported in the news. The hospital kept it quiet. But within those walls, the story spread. They started calling room 3 the room where time stops. Because after that night, 5 more patients came in coded, and somehow left alive. Each one with no medical explanation. Each one at exactly 3:17 a.m. Years later, 10 years later, Dr. Harper retired. But she kept a photo in her study, David Lawson standing with a group of survivors he'd helped. He'd become a chaplain, a counselor, a friend to the broken. On the back of the photo was a handwritten note to the doctor who believed in a heartbeat no one else could hear. Thank you for not giving up, David. Maybe science can't explain everything, Dr. Harper said in an interview years later. But love, grace, and second chances? They are very real. I saw it with my own eyes. Have you ever witnessed a medical miracle? Comment below, we want to hear your story. Don't forget to subscribe to Hospital Whisperers for more inspiring and spine-tingling true stories. New videos every week, tap the bell so you don't miss the next one.